Hi, who, what, where? I'm Katie Jane Hughes, celebrity and editorial makeup artist, and I am here with Erin Jahns, and I'm going to show you how to get this really fresh, summer, glowy beauty look. Most important step of any makeup routine is a little gentle exfoliation in the beginning. This is my favorite thing. I do not start my day without using one of these. I use them every other day on myself, but they're gentle enough to use every day. It just takes away the dead skin off the surface of the face. I pay extra attention to around the nose, around the mouth, any little areas where we have like a little tiny crease just from the natural, you know, anatomy of the face is the best place to put this and to do a little bit of pressure, and it helps to help resurface the skin over time. You know, do you ever have days where you like do your makeup and then you can see dry skin under the makeup? This is the thing.
And it is always right where my creases too.
Yeah. I'm just gonna give your skin a mist. I always like to start with the skin being a little bit damp and a little bit dewy. This is the ELEMIS Pro Collagen Rose Mist. Close your eyes. Because all of the sort of products that you put on thereafter will penetrate better on a slightly damp surface. It
smells so good.
It smells amazing. It's like, the cool thing about this is it's like a serum. So it's like a literally, you can see it's kind of like milky. Yeah. It's not like a water. So it's like a 4-in-1 type thing where you can basically just get all these gorgeous benefits. Hydration, sets your makeup, primes your skin even. And I like to keep it really, really simple. I'm just gonna use a day cream, the new ELEMIS Peptide 4. And I have a very specific way of putting on moisturizer. So it's really important for me to go to the areas where I'm definitely gonna highlight later, first and foremost. So I'm just gonna do the nose, chin in there. And then I'm just gonna place it into those places. And it kind of turns into a jelly, kind of watery textured cream pretty quickly, but it's still really, really hydrating. It
feels really good.
It's amazing. And then you can put a decent amount of pressure on the skin at this point and just gets the blood flow to the surface of the face.
I need someone to do this to my face every morning.
Okay, so if you don't know where to place the blush on your face, you should pinch the cheeks a little bit. And wherever they stay red the longest is where you're probably gonna flush throughout the skin. So this, always for me, gives me more of a glow throughout the day, just getting the blood flow to the surface of the skin. And then the last skincare step is just a bit of primer. This is the new one from ELEMIS. It's really lovely. It's like a cooling primer. It has like cryotherapy kind of technology in it.
That's cool.
You just take it over the pores, really kind of firm, just really push it in. And this one will mattify in any zones that you put it. So I'm only gonna put it in the T-zone. And then I'm just gonna start working with some concealer. This is the SURRATT one, and it's number 2, Perfectioniste it's called. I'm just gonna press this just in any areas where you have any redness or any breakouts with a small brush. This brush is one of my favorites. It's from a company called Refa, and it's the number 1, and it's a really soft, fluffy eyeshadow brush. I like to use eyeshadow brushes more than makeup brushes, than face brushes for the whole face. Okay. Because it's the size of it is what I love, and the fact that it's, you know, can get into any little corners and areas. Again, once you get products on the skin, they always warm up. So if something feels drier when you first start working with it, complexion-wise, you just like keep working it and it slowly starts to warm up to the skin. My favorite way to prime eyelids is just to use a little bit of concealer on the lid and just set it with a little bit of powder for any eyeshadow that I'm gonna do. Almost adds like a dewiness and a texture that the eyeshadow can stick to. All right, and then I'm gonna go on with another concealer. It's a little bit creamier for around the eye area. Wonder Beauty Fair.
Oh, I love that one.
Yeah, I love this concealer. It's such a nice consistency. I love that it's just double-ended and it has like a creamy one and a dry one, and you can create your own concoction between the 2 shades. It's great.
It blends really well too.
It does. So I don't like to take concealer all the way up to the lash line. I like to just do like a ½ centimeter away. It just gives you an easier time with like blending other things in that area as well as, you know, kind of it not creasing. So it's good to just shear everything down. Apply things in like tiny little layers, always, and then you'll find that you get a really nice effect. I'm gonna try a little bit of this taupey color to start building some shadows. And I'm just gonna press it in the crease of the lid, just in there. Start building a little bit of a natural contour. And to find it on yourself at home, you literally just look in the mirror with your eyes open and see where your natural shadow is and just intensify it, essentially. Because essentially, like, that's all makeup is always. It's just shadows and light and color. I always like to blend it with a clean brush. The more simple, subtle layers that you build, and you just keep layering texture on top of texture on top of texture, but thin, very, very, very thin layers of it, look up, honey, the better it will last. So just like, don't think, oh, I need to put one swipe of lipstick on. Build the lipstick in like a couple of very thin layers.
Do you believe in setting sprays?
Yeah, I believe that I believe that setting sprays help. I am just a big, huge believer that the prep at the beginning is the most important part of all of it. It's like you can, you know, a setting spray isn't going to do nothing for you if you haven't exfoliated a little bit, and if you haven't gotten rid of like any dead skin, or if you haven't like, you know, primed effectively with moisturizer. So it's kind of a good way to just start if you don't know what it is that you're going to do with your makeup, you know, on any days where you just kind of want to play and you don't know what you're going to end up on. It's pretty color. I'm putting that all over the lid. This is metallic gold. By wetting the brush, it gives me more of a wet look to the shadow when I've applied it. And then I blend the edges only. So I'm going to take this trio of blushes, which I have no idea what they're called because it's a secret. Not really. It's from SURRATT, but they're my favorites. These three mixed together. I'm just going to pop it in the crease of the eye. And because it's sheer, I'm going to apply quite high up into the brow area and into the tail of the brow. So you get like a nice connector, gives it something to connect to. You have to kind of blend things with other things or just add little bits of intrigue. This is my favorite back pocket trick. This is an eyeshadow called Eye Sculpt from RODIAL, but I use this actually as a lip contour, and I just do a little tiny bit at the top of the lip there, and just do a tiny bit underneath. And I just start to like add a shadow to the perimeter of the mouth. And you're just essentially just trying to create a little shadow halo around the top lip and the bottom lip. And you can go kind of on the lip and off the lip at the same time, half on, half off. And then you get that kind of effect, which then you'd add like a little bit of a sheeny kind of nude over it completely, because you'll get that shadow that still reads through the bottom. So this is NARS Patina. It's one of my favorite lip colors that's like kind of dusty, rosy tones. I'm just popping this right over the top. If you ever kind of overline a bit too much in certain zones, a dry Q-tip is your best friend. So I love this concealer. This is Glossier Stretch, and it's great at just making the skin look like skin. It like hides imperfections, like polishes everything up. It's like doesn't really move other stuff. It's great. I love to put it on kind of either at the end or at the beginning of the makeup. Because at the beginning, I'm using it to kind of do a tinted moisturizer effect. At the end, I'm using it to just do any little refined bits of complexion that I want to do. This is also a good time now to take what's on the eyeshadow brush around the perimeter of the eye, because it helps to like control all the edges, make it look really diffused and really airbrushed and really beautiful. So then, it's my blush trio secret. I'm gonna just place this on the cheek, just in here. Connect it to the eye just a little bit. And then because your face is a tiny, tiny bit fairer than your neck, I'm gonna warm you up with bronzer. But I don't like to warm up too much with complexion when there's a difference in color, because if things move, it's more obvious. Right, so just a Chanel bronzer. I'm just gonna press it into the hairline. With bronzer, I like to just kind of take it around the perimeter of the head, anywhere where you would get a glow naturally. Just start adding warmth. I think it's important to take it in zones that you wouldn't think to always, like the ear if your ears are on show, like crease of the eye if your eye is, you know, obviously done, or even if not, it's not done. Right. But connecting it back down to the neck. So because we've gone in a coppery orangey theme, I'm gonna use this. This is one of my favorite things from a brand that I'm obsessed with called BODYOGRAPHY. And this is literally like the finest micro grade glitter that you can find. It like looks wet when it's on the lid. It looks like a glossy eye. It's awesome. This is a color called Stella. This is definitely the best thing to apply. It's like very much finger friendly, like use your fingertips, press it in, blend it around. Start with a little bit of product and build it up always. I think it's pretty important to just always start with less and add more, because it's easier to add more than it is to take away. I'm just popping a little bit of cloud paint in Puff from Glossier just in the center of the lip to make it look really pouty and pretty. Blending it out into the sides. I'm gonna give you mascara to put on yourself. Okay. Because people can always put mascara on themselves better than somebody else, in my opinion. Yes. Like all my celebrity clients, I'm like, here's your mascara, put it on. So I'm just gonna take my concealer brush one final time and just dust it around any of the zones where there might have been fallout, or where things might have moved, or where we may have touched the face by accident and like made a dent in the concealer. This is always a good final step. And because you don't really look too matte or shiny, I'm actually gonna mist you again, but I'm not gonna powder you. And I'm gonna mist on the side of the face just here to create a highlightery, glowy effect. Same on this side. Okay, and that is it. That's how I gave Erin a simple summer, super easy, fresh, glowy look.